What's going on, knuckleheads? Welcome to my Jack Catterall versus Arnold Barboza Jr. post-fight show live. And I gotta say, for me, that fight lived up to the hype because, I wasn't expecting a brawl in that fight. As you guys saw in my prediction, I expected a very close nip and tuck fight between these two because two guys with a lot of experience who have worked very hard, who finally got an opportunity at an interim title. And I knew it was going to be a very technical matchup. Both guys are very technical. Both guys are very crafty, especially Jack Catterall. And in my prediction, I said that I felt Arnold Barboza, the kid from Long Beach, California, here in the United States, I felt he would get the decision win. The judges literally scored it a split decision, 115-113. I believe two scorecards went to Barboza and 115-113 to Jack Catterall. Now, I want to preface the rest of what I'm going to say with the following. I felt in scoring it round by round and in especially concentrating on effective strikes, right? Significant strikes. That's what I look at when I score a fight, and I believe that is the correct scoring criteria. I believed that Jack Catterall, even though I predicted Barboza to win, and I love to be right, I actually had scored this fight 115-113 for Jack Catterall, and that's with me giving the last three rounds to Arnold Barboza Jr., right? So I'm not taking away anything from either guy. I thought it was super close. Like Eddie Hearn said after the fight, it could have gone 115-113 either way. But for me, I liked the work that Jack Catterall was doing throughout the fight. I scored it 115-113 for him, even though I predicted Barboza to win by decision. Again, let's not lose sight of that. I just thought Catterall did the better work. I thought he landed the harder shots throughout the fight. And I thought that was enough to win him the fight. Now, obviously, 2 out of the 3 judges don't agree, and I'm not too upset about it because there were a few rounds throughout the fight where I felt like you could have gone either way. But just for me, in looking at the effective strikes landed, significant strikes landed, I had to give it to Jack Catterall. That being said, he gave away the last 3 rounds. You cannot, in this position, right, with so much on the line, give away the last 3 rounds of a fight like that. I mean, for me, before those last 3 rounds, I had scored it only 2 rounds for Arnold Barboza. For me, he had only won 2 rounds going into round number 10, and then he picked up round 10, 11, and 12, and probably did the same thing on the judges' scorecards and was able to get the win. Eddie Hearn said after the fight that all the judges scored the last round for Arnold Barboza. I also had scored it for Arnold Barboza. Eddie Hearn had scored it for Jack Catterall. Of course, that's his promoter, so he's going to be biased. And you would have expected me to be biased, right? Because I was going for Barboza, the California kid, the kid from the United States. But, I call a spade a spade. I liked Jack Catterall's work in this fight up until round number 10. I felt like he just dropped the ball in round number 10. Let me know what you guys think. Obviously, in the live chat, if you have any opinion on this fight, drop it. We'll discuss. But Arnold Barboza, congratulations to him, comes away with the split decision victory over Jack Catterall in his backyard in Manchester, England. Comes away with the interim WBO championship belt. This is a fantastic win for Arnold Barboza. That being said, I think both guys' stocks rise in this fight. This fight was so close that I could 100% see, Arnold Barboza moving on and Jack Catterall moving on, both getting a better fight after this potential championship bout. I'm sure they won't do that for Catterall. They want to get the guys back on the winning track, but that was such a close fight. I would even be happy to see a rematch. I thought it was so close. Either way, congratulations to Arnold Barboza. I look forward to seeing what he does here. They mentioned Teofimo Lopez. I think that would be a fun fight. I think at this point, the way Teofimo Lopez has been looking, in his past couple fights, this would not be the best fight for Teofimo Lopez. I think Teofimo Lopez needs to do something different immediately because he's just not looking that good. Arnold Barboza, listen, I do want to say I am very happy for Arnold Barboza. Just like Jack Catterall, he's a guy who's been busting his behind at the very top of the division for a very long time, looking for an opportunity. He capitalized. It does pain me to see Jack Catterall have to go back to the drawing board, but I hope he doesn't get knocked down too far because, like I said, Knuckleheads, this fight was way too close. Way too close of a fight, in my opinion, for Jack Catterall to have lost any momentum, as ridiculous as that may sound. But that's the way it should be. This is the new boxing. It's turkey season. It's Riyadh season. It's gravy season. If a guy loses in a fight that close, hey, it is what it is. Fight or Flight Boxing is in here. I appreciate you, my brother. He said, I scored this, but it was a draw. I'm not mad at you for scoring it a draw at all. I'm not mad at you for scoring it a draw. I'll show you guys my scorecard. I scored it round by round, 115 to 113 for Jack Catterall. But again, Barboza was able to take those last 3 rounds. And you cannot, with an interim title on the line and all kind of stuff going on in the future, all kind of future prospects available, give up those last 3 rounds the way Jack Catterall did. I'm wondering if Jack Catterall either felt a little bit comfortable or got a little bit fatigued, or if Barboza just figured him out in those last 3 rounds. I said in my prediction that I felt that Barboza would win this fight by decision, which he did, even though I scored it for Catterall. I predicted in the video on this channel that Barboza would win by decision because I just felt like he's the cleaner boxer. You know, as you can see, Catterall kind of fights in this, you know, almost like a Philly shell style. He's got his front arm down. I thought that was going to be detrimental to him against a guy like Barboza with a 5-inch reach advantage, Knuckleheads, in this fight. 5 inches. I mean, that's enough. You know, that's enough for some of your significant others and girlfriends, that 5 inches. Significant reach advantage there. I thought that would be trouble for Jack Catterall. It turned out to be, but did it have something to do with fatigue? Did it have something to do with what happened in the last round? Did Barboza just figure things out? Did Jack Catterall feel like he was comfortably ahead, decide to take his feet off the accelerator a bit? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But what I do know is Arnold Barboza walks away with the win just like I thought he would. Knuckleheads, if you haven't already, though, subscribe to this channel, like this video, share it with your friends, join the channel. We have several different levels you can join, and by doing so, you help me continue to build the channel and to help continue to drop daily content for you guys and to continue to go live after all the big fights the way we're doing right now and create this boxing fraternity for us to come and discuss boxing without any bias or shenanigans or stupidity. Everybody's welcome as long as you're respectful, you love boxing, and you want to be a part of Knucklehead Nation, this thing of ours, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Join the channel, subscribe, and I'd greatly appreciate it. Help me escape the rat race, right? But listen, again, you know, Jack Catterall, in my opinion, he did enough to win this fight. If you don't think, and that's my opinion, even though I predicted Barboza to win, I thought Catterall won the fight by 1 round. If you don't agree with me, tell me what it is you were seeing from Barboza that was superior to Catterall. I would love to understand, you know, the other perspective, because what I was seeing was Jack Catterall's punches just being significantly heavier, right? And that's what we're looking for when we're scoring a fight, right? Volume is important. Ring generalship is something we look at as a peripheral, right? Secondary, tertiary. But the most important thing we look at is significant strike landed. I just felt that throughout the 12 rounds, when you scored it 1 by 1, Catterall was landing the harder, bigger punches. Fight or Flight Boxing says, I also gave Catterall the last three. That was the death knell. Those were the three nails, knuckleheads, in the coffin for Jack Catterall in this fight. That's one thing I will say. He gave up those last 3 rounds when, in my opinion, he had only given up 2 rounds before that. Those last 3 rounds, I'm trying to understand. Do we give credit to Arnold Barboza for figuring him out at the end there? Do we give, negative credit to Jack Catterall for not picking up the pace in those last 3 rounds? What would you have done in those last 3 rounds? I felt like the 12th round, Catterall tried to pick it up a bit more. It was really close, but I just felt like, oh man, I almost scored it a tie round. I said to myself, you know what? When you're judging, they encourage you to select the winner. I just ever so slightly edged it to Barboza because I thought he landed the cleaner shots in that round. But the rest of the fight, man, I really felt like, listen, up until round number 9, let me show you guys. Up until round number 9, I had only given Barboza round 7 and round 3. I felt like those were the only rounds he won cleanly. And then 10 through 12, he just took over. Shout out to El Monte, California. By the way, that's where Barboza's from. Shout out to Long Beach. I think he's got some affiliation there as well. We have a new champ in the area. Very cool stuff. I love the fact that this kid, flew over to Manchester and got his. I do. I love the fact that I was right in my prediction that Barboza would win by decision, but I don't feel right. I felt like Catterall actually is a weird situation to be in. I felt like Catterall actually won that fight. Fighter Flight says, true, Jack hurt Barboza early on, but he lost steam later in the fight. So Fighter Flight is basically putting it on the cardiovascular system of Jack El Gato Catterall. Listen, what I do want to see going forward from this fight, I want to see both guys get a great opportunity. I definitely think Barboza should get a legit title shot. I think what was on the line today was an interim. I want to see Barboza get a legit title shot after this. I want to see him, not just have an interim title. I want to see him fight for the full-fledged title. And for Catterall, I'd like to see him fight another contender fight. I'd like to see Catterall, or maybe one of the weaker champs. Catterall was right there, you guys. This fight was like this. This fight was like this, knuckleheads. This fight was tighter than your high school prom date. That's what this fight was. Barboza can beat Tio by unanimous decision. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more with that statement, Fighter Flight Boxing. I couldn't agree more because Teofimo has especially, knuckleheads, looked very weak. He's looked very weak in his last few fights. You've got a few different opportunities here. Teofimo Lopez Jr., who's the WBO champ, IBF champ Richardson Hitchens, WBA champ Jose Rayo Valenzuela, and WBC champ Alberto Puello. And listen, guys, Catterall, in my opinion, can beat all of these guys, potentially. And so can, obviously, Barboza. They can beat all of these guys, in my opinion. What would be beautiful? What would be beautiful, and this is my request to Turkey El Sheikh. By the way, Fighter Flight says my high school prom date was tight AF. Let's go, Fighter Flight. I love it, brother. Hey, the only way you know is if you know. You know what I mean? You were in those caverns, my brother. You were in those caverns and caves on that high school prom date subsequent to that Mike's Hard Lemonade or whatever it was you were drinking on that night. Or maybe some Goldschlager, or maybe some Hennessy. But listen, Turkey El Sheikh, this is my request to you, Big Turkey. The Big Turkey drumstick from Disneyland with all the gravy, pouring it out to all the fighters, getting them rich. This is my request to Big Turkey and the Gravy Train. A Super 6. We haven't had one in so long. Listen to this. A Super 6 at junior welterweight or super lightweight, if you want to call it that, tomato, tomato, potato, potato, or at super lightweight, right? Teofimo Lopez, Richardson Hitchens, Jose Valenzuela, Alberto Puello, Jack Catterall, Arnold Barboza Jr. And we figure this thing out. And we get an undisputed champ at 140 pounds, which I don't believe we've had since Josh Taylor, which, what a coincidence, is the same guy who Jack Catterall lost to controversially and then beat in the rematch. Knuckleheads. Imagine a 140-pound junior welterweight / super lightweight / tomato / tomato / potato / potato Super 6, where we get some clarity, where we figure it out, because right now we don't have closure. Right now, we're Fight or Flight's prom date, right? Who, he potentially broke her heart. We don't know what happened subsequent. He never called her back. And she wants to know what's going on. She wants clarity. And we are the personification of that poor woman or man. It's 2025, whatever you like, or whatever it is. We are that, right? But in terms of boxing fans, and we want clarity, and we want to know who the man is at junior welterweight, because none of these guys really stands out head and shoulders above the other, right? Teofimo, Richardson Hitchens, Rayo, Puello, Catterall, and Barboza after today. And I'll say this. And Devin Haney is the WBC junior welterweight champion in recess. Man, what an absolutely beautiful Super 6 that would be. Knuckleheads, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, like this video, join the channel. Let me know what you think of the live chat. I look forward to hearing it. Listen, we go live after every big fight like we're doing right now. We go live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern with my co-host, Ignorant Behavior. And we drop content pretty much daily. By the way, I got a special short for you guys on YouTube. It's a video clip from David Morrell. Definitely check it out. It's a motivational video clip from David Morrell. I want you guys to go check it out. Let me know what you think. Matias was my number one, but he wanked it. He did wank it. And Tio did look like Ish versus Clegget. You're absolutely right about that Fight or Flight boxing. I mean, I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. I would love to see this fight. Who do you guys think is the best in this junior welterweight bunch? Teofimo, Richardson Hitchens, Rayo Valenzuela, Alberto Puello, Barboza, and Catterall. Right now, I got to be honest with you guys. It's probably for me right now because of the way Teofimo Lopez has looked in his past few fights. From those 6 I announced, let's leave Devin Haney out of it right now because he's already got a schedule ahead of him thanks to the Big Turkey with all the gravy. But for me right now, I would say it's between Rayo and Hitchens. I like Rayo and Hitchens right now. And then I would say it's probably Barboza and Catterall, and then Teofimo and Puello. And that sounds bad, putting Teofimo all the way at the bottom of that hypothetical Super 6 that we're going to, sit down and negotiate with the Big Turkey. Maybe he'll listen to me because I got this fez on. I'd be like, my brother, let's make Super 6, brother. Let's do it. So maybe he'll listen to me. In that Super 6, who you got 1 through 6? Let me know in what order. Here are the guys. I'm going to give them to you again, right? Teofimo, Richardson Hitchens, Rayo, Alberto Puello. We got Barboza, and we got Catterall. I still got Catterall. Listen, I still think Catterall could be. Listen, I thought Catterall won the fight today. And again, you know I'm an honest guy. You know I'm an honest guy because I picked Barboza to win by decisions, and I could have gone on here and I could have been gloating, and I could have been Ric Flairing it right now for you guys, saying, "Woo! I got it right. I made you some money on whatever goofy app you're using to waste your money on and bet on fights instead of spending it here on the channel." But I'm not doing that. I'm being transparent. I'm being honest with you guys, and I'm telling you, I thought he edged it. I thought Jack Catterall edged that fight 115 to 113. 115 to 113. So of those 6 guys, where do you put them? Give me somebody, drop a ranking in the chat. Teofimo Lopez Jr., Richardson Hitchens, Jose Valenzuela, Alberto Puello, Arnold Barboza Jr., and Jack Catterall. In our Super 6, how are you ranking them, right? Maybe we do a thing kind of like they do in the playoffs where number 1 fights number 6, number 2 fights number 5, and number 3 fights number 4. The winners advance, and we figure it out. And we get that clarity that Fighter Flight's prom date never got. She never got it. She's out there at some, I'm assuming you're from across the pond, Fighter Flight. She's out there in some pub. She's been crying for the last 10 years, waiting for the high school reunion to happen. She wants clarity. She's talking to the owner of the pub. His name is, Turkey, Big Turkey Gravy. And she's telling Big Turkey Gravy El Sheikh, hey, 40 years old, 40 years ago, Fighter Flight. Oh my God, what a heartbreaker. So she's been waiting at that pub, right? Where to the point where she's just sagging below the knees at this point, brother. She's sagging below the knees. She's asking the pub owner, I need clarity. Who's the man at junior welterweight or super lightweight? Listen, I know you guys in Europe, you want to do things different. We want to use the imperial system. You guys want to use the metric system. Fine. Be different. I know you want to drive on that side. We want to drive on this side. Fine, whatever you want. We want to call it junior welterweight. You want to call it super lightweight. Fine. Be special. Just be special. But at least, the least we can ask for is a little bit of clarity. That's all I'm asking for. We want a little bit of clarity at junior welterweight / super lightweight. What a fantastic Super 6 tournament that would be. I would be happy to be a commentator on that, by the way, if you guys wanted to put it together. We'll reach out to Turkey El Sheikh and figure it out. But knuckleheads, that's pretty much all I have for you guys today on this issue. Tell me who you thought won this fight. I thought it was super close. I was right. Decision for Arnold Barboza. But I don't know. I felt like Catterall won. Let me know what you guys think. Subscribe to the channel. Join the channel at any level and be a part of this thing of ours. Fighters Rep, Knucklehead Nation. I'll talk to you guys soon.